Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616 and to the spoilers discussion for Iron Fist. As you might have guessed, this video will have spoilers in it, so yeah, watch at your own risk. In any event, there's a couple of surprise characters I wanted to talk about here, the main two being Bakuto and Davos. Bakuto was the mystery guy I saw in the trailer who actually turned out to be a surprise villain, the leader of a supposedly good but not actually version of the Hand. Of which Colleen Wing was actually a member. As far as I know, he's not from the comics, but I thought he was a pretty good villain. I wouldn't say any of the villains in this were anywhere near as entertaining to watch as Wilson Fisk, Kilgrave, or Cottonmouth, but they were decent. I'd say David Wenham's Harold Meacham was probably my favorite. At the end, Bakuto is seemingly killed by Davos, however, his body ends up disappearing. They say that it's probably just because the Hand wouldn't want one of their leaders' corpses to be obtained by the enemy. However, I do wonder if Bakuto is immortal, like Nobu and Harold Meacham are. At the Hand's compound, Colleen is almost strapped to this thing that seems like it's going to take her blood, which is, I'm pretty sure, how these people are immortal, based on what's in this and Daredevil Season 2. So it doesn't seem impossible that Bakuto could be one of these immortal people, as he would have access to turning into one. And we also learn that the only way to kill people like this is to cut their head off, which isn't what happens to him. But this also confirms that Nobu from Daredevil Season 2 is truly dead, as he got his head cut off by Stick at the end.
And this time, you piece of shit. Stay down.
Davos turned out to be a villain. He ended up appearing in the last couple of episodes where he's jealous that Danny got the Iron Fist power instead of him, and also angry that Danny had left him and Kunlun to go back to New York City, when he was supposed to be guarding the gates of Kunlun while they were open, which at the end of the season turns out to be a bad thing when Kunlun apparently goes missing. So yeah, Davos fits pretty well with his comics counterpart, and it looks like we'll be getting more of him, as at the very end of Season 1, Joy and Davos are shown discussing killing Danny, with Madame Gao listening in and smiling. I'm honestly confused about whether or not Joy is Danny's friend or enemy at this point. It seems like she's a bit of both, but she was still a decent character. The show actually made some kind of weird changes to some of the mystical elements of Iron Fist. For example, Kunlun comes every 15 years instead of 10 for some reason. The Bride of Nine Spiders is, I think, part of the Hand, apparently. And we see Zhao Qing in one episode where he's defeated and never appears again. They actually cut his connections to Chi Lin and gave it to another character whose name I cannot remember to save my life, who very briefly names Chi Lin as his master. He was the guy that was drunk while fighting Iron Fist. But this makes me wonder, and I have a pretty cool theory about the Hand in the MCU. See, in the comics, the Hand worships this beast, simply called the Beast, and is always trying to bring it back to life. So what I'm thinking is that Chi Lin is the Beast in the MCU, and that the Black Sky is a person who is born with the ability to be possessed by him, so he can lead the Hand. And also, what if the secret 8th city of the 7 capital cities of heaven is where the Hand and Chi Lin came from? I could definitely see the Defenders following the Hand trying to open a portal or something like that to the 8th city, and Elektra being possessed by Chi Lin. That would actually be awesome. I don't know how Alexandra will fit into all that, but it will be interesting to see. There was theories going around after Madame Gao said that she's going somewhere much further than China at the end of Daredevil Season 1, that she was the Crane Mother. In this, she isn't, but I think she might actually be from one of the 8 capital cities of heaven. And I say 8 because I think she might actually be from the 8th city, the secret one. I don't know what happened to the 8th city. I'm guessing Kunlun must have either destroyed it or hid it or something like that. But I'm guessing she's been banished from it and she's trying to get back to it. And that's what the Hand is all about. And we know now that she seems to be immortal, as when she's being held prisoner or something, she talks about how she was tortured back in the 17th century, which means she was still alive during the 1600s. So, yeah, she's pretty old. But I also wanted to talk about the possibility of a season 2. With Joy, Davos, and Madame Gao, it seems like they've teased a season 2, and there's definitely a whole lot of stuff they could do there. But with all the negative reception the show has gotten from critics, do you think Netflix would greenlight a season 2? I personally think the show deserves it, especially considering how many positive reviews I've seen after it actually comes out. But do you think Netflix will actually do it? They have greenlit second seasons for both Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and a third for Daredevil. I do think that they should do it for Iron Fist. I do think that if they do a second season for Iron Fist, they should find someone other than Scott Buck to make it. 2 reasons. 1, Scott Buck is making Inhumans now, which is where I personally think he should stay, because 2, I think there are some definite problems here in Iron Fist, and I'd like to see someone with a bit more skill in writing and maybe a better understanding of his character take a season 2. Because I think one problem the season has is that no one seemed to know what to do with this character. They do a good job, don't get me wrong, but like the intro is a perfect example. In Luke Cage, the intro is perfect, with the music and visuals telling you exactly what to expect tonally from the show from the character. Same with Jessica Jones. The best is Daredevil's, as his actually symbolizes how the city is made from blood and corruption, and how all that blood and chaos ended up forming its ultimate defender, Daredevil. But with Iron Fist, the opening really just seems like they didn't know what to put there, and so they just put some guy doing kung fu. It just seems like the creators didn't know what tone this character needed. Personally, I think it would have been better even if it was just simply green and yellow instead of black and gray, with some yellow sparks here and there. Also, one last thing I wanted to mention, how about that magical homeless man in episode 1? That guy was something. In any event, feel free to leave any spoiler-filled comments below, as this is a spoilers discussion after all, so I'd love to know what you guys thought. But let me know, what do you think of my hand theory that Qilin is the beast and all that? And what did you think of Davos and the ending? Do you think Bakuto is dead? And finally, do you think Iron Fist deserves a season 2? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.